Yo, what's going on guys? It's Tropic Arts here and I'm bringing you a tutorial. Like I had said in my last video, you guys managed to break 38 likes I think in the first like 20 hours, which is like that's pretty good for my channel. Like I didn't expect that to really happen. But I'd just like to thank everyone that supported that video, because I didn't think that people would support me talking, because I've always been somebody that's just uploaded speed arts with music, and I know it's really cool that you guys are there to watch whatever I give you guys, and that's something that I really appreciate. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is a tutorial on how to make text setups in Cinema 4D, like how to make renders. Fairly basic stuff. Like if you're competent at Cinema 4D, you probably don't need this. Basically for beginners or people that just want to improve their styles a little bit more. But anyway, so the most important thing is a Lightroom, and unfortunately I'm not going to give mine away for free, because it's not like the easy to make. You gotta make the soft boxes, which you need Grayscale Gorilla for, because they have pre-made soft boxes in their packs. But that's just like it's kind of like a premium grade product for Cinema 4D, like professionals use that kind of stuff. But if you're looking for like a Lightroom, I'd suggest that you just go to Rated Designs. I think he might have given his away a few times. I'm not too sure though, but what you want is a softbox Lightroom. So if you can find one on YouTube that's something like this, then that should be all you need. But if you want to buy mine's on my Selfie for about $2.50, so it's pretty cheap. It's 50% off at the moment, so if you want to support me, then I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to make one, because that just take too long, and it's not really like what the point of this tutorial is. But anyway, so what we're going to do is I'll delete this text actually. One of the problems with my computer, and I'm gonna have to try and get through this while I'm doing this tutorial, is that my computer's pretty shit, not gonna lie. So it may freeze a few times, which is gonna be a bit of a struggle, but we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, so you want to go to open up MoGraph, which is at the top, and you want to grab MoText. Just make sure you go down the bottom here, and the position is set to 000. Or wherever it is in your Lightroom, wherever it comes, then that should be alright. But yep, so once you have the text, just make sure you clicked on it, and I'm going to use the word tropic for the sake of this tutorial. Actually, no, I'm just going to do a tutorial actually, that's probably simpler. But anyway, just select your text and make sure it's between these two bars here, because this two lighter areas, because that's where the render's actually going to be when you render it out. So yeah, that's kind of the area, otherwise it won't come up in the render. So firstly you're going to go down here and we're going to choose a font. I don't know what I'm going to use, because it normally takes me a while to find one that I feel like it works with the word, because sometimes text don't always look good for each word. I'm just gonna use this one, like, even though it's not that good, but whatever. Okay, so first we want to come over here, click on your text, right, and then go to caps, select the start cap to fillet cap, and then the end cap to fillet cap, and then change the radius for both of them to 2 centimeters. And what that does is it gives it a kind of like a rounded edge, so it's not as like harsh on the edges of the text, so it kind of like looks a bit better. I'll show you what it, actually I don't, hang on, I'll show you anyway what it looks like without it. Okay, this is, you see how it's like kind of like really straight edges, but with the cap it like rounds them out, which is, it makes it just look a lot nicer, in my opinion. So to set those to 2. You can set it to more if you want, but I mean 2 just looks good in my opinion. That's what I've always used. Next we're going to make the object, go back to object and increase the depth from 20 to 60. That's just normally what I choose, 60 to 80ish. It depends on the text again, like sometimes it looks better when you have it larger and sometimes it doesn't. But alright, so that's what we got that. And next what we're going to do is create a material, because we're gonna, this text is going to be a grunge material. So playing an ad, hang on. So we're just going to go grunge texture seamless, and alright, I'm going to choose this one. Just wait for my internet, there we go. Alright, so you want to save it. I'm going to save mine in my textures file because I actually don't mind this one. Alright, I got a bunch of textures for my normal setup because I deleted them, you can't see them here, but I have a bunch of different other textures that I made and I eventually might sell them, I don't know. But what you want to do is create a new tutorial, double click down here. Did I say tutorial? New texture. Go to color, click on texture, open up like the arrow, go load image, come down the bottom, here's my texture, and then you want to, this thing will pop up and you just want to click no. Then we want to go up here and right click on the picture of the material, click that, and then go object soft shadow, and it just, I don't really know what it does, but I've always been told to do that, so that's just how it's always how I've always done. You can change it to like a bunch of other ones, you can have like knot and stuff, but I think object soft shadow is the best. And next, because it's going to be a grunge, I'm probably going to make it a lot darker. So you want to go to diffusion, and I'm just going to make it about that, so it looks a lot darker now. It looks like a grunge texture. And then now you want to go on luminance and set it to 0. I'm not sure what that does, but people have always told me to do it as well, so I've always done that. Okay, now we're going to do a displacement. So the point of displacement is to make the texture look a bit 3D and like create bits that stick out. So what you want to do, this is just like a really easy way of doing it, is you want to click on, go back to here, click on copy channel on the texture area. Then we want to go down to displacement, turn displacement on. Go click on the texture thing as well, and then paste channel. What that'll do is it'll copy the like the settings kind of thing for your picture for the material into displacement, and it'll come up as a different one for every material that you use. So just play around with it. Normally you want to have it as an increased strength because that's what makes it stick out. If you want to have it decreased, that means that it'll go, the material will suck in from the normal shape of the text. So that's what you want. You want to have it sticking out, and then just leave that. Just increase the strength a bit, so it's above 0%. Hang on, I'm just gonna grab a drink. Now what you want is to create a bump, which is also it creates a it's kind of like displacement, but only on the edges. So on the edges of the text and stuff. So we want to just paste channel as well because it's got all the same settings. And just leave it at 20%. And there you got a material, but if you want to add more textures just to the one texture, like you can add layers and layers of textures on top of each other, you can go down, click on texture again, and then go down here to layer, and then click on this bit here, and then you can add more images on top of it. Like if I wanted to, I could make it have this texture over it as well, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to confuse you guys. Like if you want to go do that yourself, you can. But I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I might just turn it down a bit, make it a bit darker. Okay, so now we want to put the material on the text and just drag that over and go down here. Now, if you might not be able to see the texture on the text, but on the side you can. Like on the front you won't be able to, but on the side you can. So what you want to do to fix that, so it's all throughout the whole text, is you want to go down to projection, and then click on cubic, and what that does is it puts the projection of the material throughout the whole entire object of the text. So that's what you want to have, and then you want to click seamless so the texture doesn't like overlap or look really weird at some bits, because the texture is normally duplicated to fit on all the pieces of the object. So seamless just makes it blend a bit better. So I'm just going to render that, see how it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now what we want to do is, I'm probably going to do a atom array. What that does is it, to get an atom array, I'm just going to show you how to get it first. Come up here, click on this thing here, and then just click on atom array, and that'll pop up. Then you want to drag the text on, wait, you need to make a duplicate of the text first, sorry. Control C, Control V to duplicate text, and then put the second duplicate on top of the atom array. So it's a child of the atom array layer. Now you click on the atom array and go to sphere radius and cylinder radius and set it to 2. Whatever you do on the bottom on the sphere radius, it will change the cylinder radius as well. So just leave it at 2. Except it won't go back up, so I need to do that. Set it both at 2. And what that does is it creates like a stick out on the edges. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's taking ages to render. But it yeah, you can kind of see it there. It makes like an edge around your text, but it's not actually in the text. It's on the outside of it. You can do that on logos as well. That looks really cool. I think that 2 might be a bit too big, so I might just set it to 1 actually. And then I'm going to use the material as well to go on the atom array. Just leave it as, it doesn't really matter if you change the projection or not. How much time are we in? We are 13 minutes in. Yeah, there we go. You can kind of see like it's a bit, it just shows like a edge around it. I suppose it doesn't really matter if you got a caps or not if you're going to use the atom array, because the atom array kind of covers the edges, so you won't really be able to tell the cap on the text. I guess the other thing that you could do, because this is kind of like, you can make the text curve, but I don't think you really need to do that. Like some situations it looks better curved, but that's more advanced kind of thing. But what I am going to do though is make the text, I'm going to make it so it's all like randomized. It's kind of hard to explain what I want to do, but click on the my text and then go mode graph, go to effector and go down to random, and then I'll make a child. I probably should delete the atom array and then I'll come back to it and do it again after. But what it'll do is it'll change the spacing of the text and everything, but you can put like a rotation on it as well. So what you want to do is go on the random effector, drop into the parameter section, because you can change the effector, the strength of the effector as well, which is kind of like how like a lot of intros are made as well, because they just set it to 100 and they make it to 0 so the logo pieces like come together. But I don't know, it's just a cool tip if you want to know that. But if you want a parameter, get rid of the position, because you don't want that. What you want is the rotation, and you want to just move it around up and down on these degrees, and just see what works, because you know, of course, like different lettering looks different, and I don't know, just whatever works with your lettering, because if you have like two different letters together, they might not look good when they're on a certain angle. But that's how you do it for that's just how you do a random effector pretty much. You can just keep playing around with it. You just do that, change the strength of the effector if you want to make it less subtle, less strong and more subtle. So yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing. I guess I can show you one last thing. That's the whole render. Should I? Yeah, I'll show you guys another thing. So I'm just gonna turn these layers off. Of course, yeah, if you want to go back and you can add another Atom array back onto it if you want, that's up to you really. Some people like using it, some people don't. But what we're gonna do is create another motext. So go down to motext. I'm gonna show you how to import, how to add a Photoshop layer style to 3D text. So what you want to do, so just do all the same things that you did before. So 60 tutorial. What font did I use? Jeez, my voice is getting quite sore. Did I use this one? Yeah, I did. Alright. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to probably just render this one plain, to be honest, because it doesn't really matter about material, because you're going to be adding a material in Photoshop in a way, because you're going to be adding a layer style on top of the text. But what you want to do is create one render, render it out. I don't know if you guys know how to render or not, but this is how you render. You press this thing up here, but you want to these are the settings that you want though. You want 1280 by 720. You can do 1080 by 720, it doesn't really matter. 1280 is the size of a thumbnail for YouTube, so that's kind of why I have it that size. But it doesn't really matter about all these things. Just have it set to these ones here. They're not so important. Like if you get a Lightroom, it should come with all the settings already. You want the aliasing best, not geometry best. You want global illumination on. That's like a must. You need that on. Without it, the render doesn't look good. Ambient occlusion, you need that on as well. Lens effects, I don't know. You don't really need these things. That's just in my Lightroom. So yeah, you want to render this one out like you would for a normal text. What you need to do for putting these into Photoshop, you need to create two different renders. One is the top one where you can put the layer style on it, and the other one is like the 3D backing of the text. So I'm gonna actually do this one. I'll save this one as tutorial text. So I'll just render this one out. And just once that's rendered, you want to delete. Well, you don't need to actually delete it. You can just go down to depth, and this is going to be the layer that you're going to put the layer style on. So this next text is going to go on top of the one that you just rendered. So you want to change this to depth of like 1 or 2, and then it just makes it so that the backing of the text doesn't get affected by the layer style. It's only going to be the front. So you want to change that to 2, and then just render it out again, and you're all good. That's basically it, because there's not much else you can do unless you're in Photoshop with this. Unless you want to put a texture on it, it's up to you, but probably not, because you're going to be doing it in Photoshop. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much the whole tutorial. Sorry about my voice and everything. My voice is just, I think I'm getting a bit of a cold or something. But if we could shoot for maybe 25 likes, no, that's a bit low. I'm going to say another 35 likes within the next week. I will put the next part out, which is the Photoshop. I'll put that out probably midweek next week, Wednesday or something, because I want to put speed art, in between then, because you know I can't just put tutorials and tutorials, because like half my audience already knows how to do this stuff anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll be bringing you guys the Photoshop bit in the next week, so thanks for watching.